Welcome to The Puppies Are Listening. I am Joanna,
I'm Shri.
and we have Bingo and Pipoca on the back seat. This is our first episode, and we're going to talk about
Airbnbs. What we like and dislike about.
the past 6 months. We have stayed in about 32 Airbnbs in Brazil and Chile. And I think your total is like,
The ones I've booked is in the 90s, so I'm guessing totally over 100 at this point.
so let's start by the ones in Brazil. What have you liked and what have you disliked?
I think the people are very hospitable and generally try to be very helpful. I think the good hosts have usually checked in to see how we're doing, whether we needed anything. There's things I find strange that I'm not used to is a lot of them will have no sheets or towels or properly stacked kitchens. I think that's pretty common to not have a well stacked kitchen. Right? What are your
I find the kitchens are mostly okay, but the bed sheets and the towels are weird. I don't know if they just expect people to be locals and be traveling by car, and then you're packing your stuff. It's just strange.
I don't understand that too. Or do you expect people to bring your own towels and sheets when they travel?
I find that the lack of direction is kind of annoying.
Yeah.
I don't want to be on an Airbnb contacting my host for everything.
It seems cultural to me, but it just feels like that's what they want. They want you to contact them, and because when you look at the instructions in the beginning, they don't provide
Any.
any. Generally, the U.S., Canada, or like Europe, they kind of have detailed instructions, and usually it's keyless entry with getting in. Here, I think all of them want you to contact them and get those directions from them.
Well, that's the other thing. Everyone wants to talk on WhatsApp, and I'm like, why can't you just talk on Airbnb? The same thing.
Yeah.
And then they send you a million messages with the directions one by one. And they never tell you whether the water is drinkable.
The basic stuff like that, right? What do you do with the trash?
Yeah, what do you do with the trash if you separate, if you don't, if you have recycling or not?
I think nobody's actually said anything about the trash.
Not. But I do like that they always have a blender. Every single one has a blender. I also find it weird that it seems like Brazil, nobody has an oven anymore. They just have the air fryers.
I kind of like that air fryer. I wasn't used to using
Yeah, but
an air fryer
it's
before this.
different.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice having an oven. There are some places that have both, right? But I think I'd use our air fryer more when we get it back.
Yeah, but it-
Yeah, and that Ninja, the Ninja
oh yeah,
air.
with the storage in Toronto. I don't remember all the things we have after 6 months. I don't necessarily like the. It feels it's nice that they come and they would show you around, but sometimes it's like we drove 4 hours and I just want to relax. I don't want to be talking to a stranger.
I don't know. I don't do all the talking, but it doesn't feel that bad too.
I mean, it's quite different than the ones in other countries where people are very straightforward and hear the directions, and then they kind of leave you alone. I think this last one, and I know they were new hosts, but it is kind of annoying to be asking for everything. And I would expect that the places are more ready for people to come.
So this last one was one of them. I would say it didn't have a lot of kid. Like, yeah, they had skillets and some pots, but they didn't really have a spatula. They had that wooden spoon. They few of those wooden spoons that
I also wonder how much is just what people use, right? I think it's a different thing because when we set up our places for Airbnb or rentals like we do, we think about the basics, but I think it's normal to think about from your perspective of what you use. And that doesn't mean is what other people would need.
yeah. My thinking with Airbnbs is generally if someone's booking an Airbnb is because they're gonna get more space than being in a hotel, and maybe they want a kitchen also,
Yeah.
which is something you're not gonna get in a hotel. So if you have a kitchen, you want all the tools to be able to use it.
Yeah. For us, I think the two main reasons to use Airbnb, I mean, traveling the way we are, Airbnb is ideal because hotel rooms will be too small, you know. But I think the two main reasons to use Airbnbs is what you said, is having a kitchen, and then the other one is we have the dogs, so
Right.
we need space for them. But there are weird stuff. Like you had that case in Canada that the guy left three towels because three bedrooms, three towels, even though you could register six people staying there. So that's what I'm saying from their perspective. Are they not used to like showering every day? What is the deal?
I don't know. The ones in Toronto were weird. I like the ones in Vancouver that we got. I felt they were very hospitable and generally very well stacked. The last time I went to Toronto on the Airbnb I stayed out there, that was a pretty good one. It was the kitchen was well stacked and it was very clean, and there were enough towels, etc.
Finland may have been the best one because they even had a sauna.
The first time I used Airbnb, it was I guess in Budapest, and the first few times I've used them were actually around Europe. That was 2011, 2012, that time. And I thought though generally the Airbnbs out there were well organized as compared to the ones in the US also.
Mm.
I think the US Airbnbs have got better with those things as well.
Yeah. So let's talk about best and worst experience.
Of an Airbnb, just in Brazil or just saying everywhere?
I guess in general, we can start in Brazil, the past 30 something.
Uh, the best one? Well, I like the one in Urubisi a lot because I think she took care of a lot of details and made it very comfortable. The only thing, it didn't have a fence, but that's not on her. She didn't advertise it as having a fence around, but there was a lot of space outside for the dogs. The kitchens were well stacked. The bedrooms were both very nice.
You're really obsessed with the kitchens.
Yeah. Another thing with some of the Airbnbs, like I've not liked, is the skillets are very light and they're easy to tip over if you're not paying attention.
I think in Brazil and South America, it's just the quality of things and the cost of things are very different, right?
Yeah, but
We come from, I think it's important to keep that in mind when we go to other countries, you know, and we get Airbnbs because the local people are the ones putting it out there. It's like they don't have access to the same things and or don't have the money, right? It's very different.
well, some of them had good skillets. I think one of them in Chile, it had some skillets similar to the ones we used to have in Edmonds. They're a little heavier. And, it's a risk of it falling over. That's the only thing. And I'm always worried about the dogs.
But that is not a cultural thing. I joked the other day, like Brazilians don't believe in the in the danger of mixing water and electricity, right?
Yeah.
I think there's a different level of risk. And it's funny because you don't see it doesn't happen, right? You're afraid and things don't really happen, but it's just that's part of the cultural aspect that I think people have to be conscious when you go to another country, just how certain cultures deal with
Yeah.
things. If you're cooking, be careful. Don't let it fall, It's a lot of that. And other things I find it interesting. I'm Brazilian, so I kind of know, but I'm being reminded of those things. In Brazil, people don't necessarily match their bed sheets. It's fine. We come from the US and everything is matchy and it, it's just a different way of looking at it. The other thing is we don't usually have dryers in Brazil. It's very rare that
Yeah.
people have dryers. So they wash and they will let it dry. So your towels are not going to be as soft as the towels that come out of a dryer. Those are things that are very different, but I'm fine with it and it's part of my culture. I'm just being reminded of it. It's also important when we're traveling to be conscious and not be geeky about those things because then we like get frustrated.
But yeah, so that one in Urubisi, I like that one. The second one in Florianopolis, which
Because the first one had an infestation of
yeah,
tapeworm.
that was probably the worst one.
Yes.
I think overall. The second one in Florianopolis, I thought that was a very nice setup. She was very nice, letting us check in early and being accommodating. I also like that one in I don't remember the name of the place. It was the private property where they had the little store, like her mother-in-law or something had a store out there. That we got the jam.
Oh yeah. That was in the state of São Paulo, I don't remember.
Yeah, it was something good. I don't know.
That one was good.
Yeah,
The best one for me is still Tiradentes. That one had everything.
that one was nice too. That was nice too.
It was such a beautiful place, all set up and
It was quiet in there. They had the little garden on the side that was fenced.
the house itself was
Yeah,
fenced, so the dogs could
right.
be outside
The house
all the
was
time.
that house was well made.
And there are the little details that
one
we
had
talked
the
about. A lot of times they don't have place for you to hang your towels.
Yeah.
That's very basic, but
Yeah.
people don't think about it. And I thought the one in Tiradentes, she thought about all the details.
I think even the one in Urubisi out of those details.
Yeah,
The one in Chiradenchi, that one had the biggest master bedroom.
that's true. They had a king size bed, which is rare here.
Yeah. What about in other countries?
I like the one in Finland that had the sauna. I thought that's a cool thing. They made the shower very small, but they put a sauna there, and I thought it was worth it.
The shower area itself wasn't that small though, because you had the sink out there and there was a little room out there. I mean, yeah, it got smaller because they put the sauna, but overall, I think it was okay.
It's also interesting to see how those countries allow those things, and doing something like that in the US, it would be a nightmare.
Right.
You know?
But I think that it seemed very common that a lot of places had a sauna built in.
And that was nice. Although I was surprised, and that's something that Europe has surprised me just in terms of accessibility, because, and it's understandable, they're older buildings. So it's all stairs, and then you're getting there with all your heavy bags, and you're just going up 2 flights of stairs. But part of understanding the culture that you're going to again. The one in Chile in Pucon was nice. It was a cute little house with the fireplace. It was nice that they brought us food all the time, but they kind of left us alone. It was like, "Do you need wood?" Yes, no, With the dogs, it's just hard sometimes to understand whether they have a fenced yard or not. They don't necessarily list it. Be nice to know what size. But then the other one in where was it? Chikyang. There was that weird house.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that a lot of times, especially here in South America, I notice people don't remove the cluster.
I was about to say that's another thing that people had like this last house that we were in. They like
It's a lot of garbage.
they had a lot of their junk. Like this one was probably had the most, where he had a lot of his junks in all the drawers and in the closet. And so the same thing in Chian, wherein he had a lot of construction equipment lying around because he was redoing another bathroom upstairs.
Oh, that's true. It wasn't finished.
Yeah. That one was pretty dusty right from when we walked in.
And it's like the moment you see something, you
Yeah.
walk into an Airbnb and it feels dirty, then I kind of get neurotic about everything. And now I'm gonna be washing every single thing I want to use. And it's just not a good feeling. That's a big one for me. And that first one in Florianopolis was the same thing. And it did turn out to be a very disgusting house.
Yeah. The one in Los Angeles in
Oh, in Chile?
Chile, that was a nice one too. I liked it.
Yeah, I find that the ones that are clean and have good instructions, they're usually pleasant to be.
Yeah.
The ones that lack instruction and it's not very clean and has a lot of clutter, it automatically turns you off.
Right.
I think the ones in the US and Canada, they're mostly pleasant. Didn't have anything specific.
Valparaiso, even though it was a condo, a studio, I guess it was.
It was
Nice.
nice.
I like it was. I thought it was nice.
It was a cool building
Mhm.
and good location.
Uh, I think one of the best ones in the U.S. for me was the one we stayed at when your brother's family came to
Oh
visit
yeah,
Washington and
Orcas Island. That was a nice one. It was beautiful. The first time I used Airbnb was when I was moving to New York. I found this place for a month. And it was kind of one of those typical New York Bushwick apartments that it's long and then the bedroom was the hallway. There were two doors, in between. And there was no sink in the bathroom. So you had to use the sink of the kitchen. There was just one of those awkward places. It was very clean and the people were super nice, but it was just strange.
yeah, I'd taken some classes in Pepperdine University in Malibu area, and then I stayed in Topanga Canyon, and I had an Airbnb out there. The location was amazing. It was in the valley in a canyon, I guess, and near the mountains around. But it was a basement unit. It was it was very loud inside, and the weird thing was like they had a outdoor shower there. They lived upstairs. They had an outdoor shower there, and then if you didn't want to use that, you had to go into their house to use the shower,
Oh.
which kind of makes it a little awkward.
Was the outdoor shower enclosed?
There was a curtain around it, you know. Well, I never used it. I didn't feel that.
It's like the one you and I stayed in. Wasn't it Orcas Island the first time we went? We're starting to date, and the bathroom also just had like a little curtain.
Yeah. Now I'm just thinking of that one Halibut. We went with Pete Polka and Pingo for the first time. We had to use the shower outside.
There was no shower.
There is no shower.
We had to use the water
the bucket.
bucket. I think it didn't specify that it didn't have a shower, right?
I don't think this. She also didn't have towels. We'd ask for towels.
Or she didn't have a shower, so I think in their mind it was like, we don't have a shower, you don't need a towel.
Yeah.
And you and I can never go without showering. Yeah, that was an interesting one. It was cute though.
Yeah.
The cute little house.
But that one had a sauna too outside.
That one had a sauna outside, which made it weird not to have water, to have a shower.
Yeah.
I mean, the one in Orcas, the first one, it was an awesome location. It was in the animal sanctuary.
Right.
We almost lost our kayak because we left it in the water and the tides went up. Oh, there was the one in Chile that we stay in the wineries. What is the name of that kind of construction?
Oh, the dome?
Yeah, the dome. Those domes look cool. I thought it was super inconvenient. It gets really hot. I did not like
Well,
it.
I thought that was another one that wasn't south. That was the one where you didn't have water in the shower. Remember, like
Yeah, like it dripped.
yeah.
And the guy came to fix it. He's like, it's fixed. And we're like, there is no water.
Even the internet was not working. I mean, generally, it wouldn't have bothered me that much, but I was working and I needed the internet. So
I would say in Brazil and Chile, one of the lessons that you and I have discussed is like, if there is something listed and is a priority for you, you should always ask if it's
right,
there.
it's like the washing machine.
The washing machine. We had issues 3 times already.
3?
Wasn't it 3?
What was this one?
This one that we came in and was like, no, it's not listed. And we're like, we made sure it
Yeah.
was there. And it took 3 days for them to bring us a washing machine.
Oh, there was right, and then there was the one in Mawa.
There was the one in Mawa that it was listed, and then he's like, oh, it's in another house. We have to bring it to you.
That one had an amazing living room. I gotta say that.
Yeah.
With the view was amazing.
But the guy's communication was terrible.
Yeah. And they had the little hot tub outside, right?
Yeah.
Nice too.
That was nice. And then there was the other one, oh, the one in Bueno Brandão, that, oh, the washing machine is broken.
Oh, right.
The guy's supposed to come fix it. And for us, that's a priority because we have one suitcase and we have to wash our stuff. So if it is a priority, you have to ask and make sure that is there. And then it's been funny to also see the translations on Airbnb.
Mm-hmm.
Because you get it in English, I get it in the original language, and
Right.
this doesn't make any sense. You cannot rely on the translation.
That's right.
It's just weird. What else with Airbnbs? Descriptions are very iffy. Oh, that's the other thing in Brazil. People are terrible at leaving feedback. You get all those 5 stars, and then you go to the place and you're like, why is this a 5 star? Or they'll give 4 stars, but they will not tell you why they took a star. So you can't really rely much on that. And like, I get it. People are like, just call, I'll come and fix stuff. I'm like, I don't want to go to an Airbnb and have to be calling to get stuff fixed, right? That's not the point.
It takes from your time.
I don't even like doing that in my own house. I want to be things to work. This last one was a shame because we were the river and we never got into the river because there was so many mosquitoes like I've never seen before.
The last one kind of needs a bit of a cleanup. Not only inside but outside too. Would probably mowing the yard, maybe cleaning out some of those the fallen fruits, because I think there were a lot of bugs and mosquitoes around because of all that.
We learned a lesson for our house. Those trees too close to the house fall on the floor and then they stink and they accumulate mosquitoes. So put the fruit trees a little further.
So, which Airbnbs do you think they're giving you some ideas of a house to build?
Oh, Tiradentes, I thought it was beautiful. Well, it's a few things that we learned, which has been interesting since we want to find a home somewhere, you know. So with the dogs, for example, a lot of the houses only have doors. Even if they're glass doors, they only have doors. But they're not fenced, so we can't really leave the door open and then it gets hot inside, right?
Right.
So it has to have a mix of windows and doors. I think a good house has a mix. Because then you can leave the windows open. Or like at my uncle's house where he did a door that opens half, right? The top can open or close. So it works kind of like a window.
Yeah.
So that is cool.
Hey, uncle's house, it's nice that they have the sliding door out there that you can get out onto the deck. Uh, if you wanted to leave that open, you could.
Well, and having glass doors are great because you get a lot of light inside.
The bedroom in Chiradenchi's, I mean,
Yeah,
that was
that
a very
house
nice.
was beautiful.
That was a good bedroom. Like
Had so much. It was well made with the wood and the echo
bricks.
bricks. That was really nice. I also like how almost every house we stayed in Brazil has an outdoor kitchen. It's a huge thing here.
I mean, as a setup, like Kamandukai was very nice too.
Yeah,
It was in a little older house, but it was a little
it had
older.
everything.
Yeah,
That house had everything too.
I can remember this exit. It kind of hit the first one.
Smalley King.
Yeah,
The one in Bueno Brandão was very nice. It was more of the host that it wasn't great, but that was the little
yeah,
waterfall in the back too.
that one had a very spacious kitchen. I would say.
Yeah, the kitchen was beautiful. It was interesting because I was saying about the outdoor kitchen, but they did an outdoor indoor kitchen
You're right.
because you had the sliding door and you could open and feel like you're outside.
Yeah,
That was kind of cool.
I think the one in Mawa, that living room with those huge windows
Yeah,
with
that
a
was
great
beautiful.
view, that was beautiful. I thought that there was a nice seating area there.
Mm-hmm.
This last one, it was a great feature to have with a little, I guess, the enclosed area around the house where the dogs could run around. It was great to have, but it's not, unless it's properly ventilated, it's not very practical, I guess, because there was,
That was yes. It's
I
hard to
mean,
explain, but it's like you had an enclosed corridor around the house, the entirety of the house.
it's almost like a track around the house, the covered track around
Which
the.
we got here and it was pouring rain every day, so it was great for the dogs to run. But then now I'm like, that was a mosquito incubator.
Yeah,
And it also prevented a lot of light of going into the
yeah,
house and
yeah,
a lot of natural air.
yeah.
So we ended up having the HVAC on the whole time because that also kept the mosquitoes away from the house.
I wonder if, like, if you had that, you did a sunroof, or it would bring more light in.
Yeah. So you being the one that do all the search for Airbnb. So how has your search criteria changed since 6 months ago when we first came?
Uh, well, I actually looked to make sure that they have sheets and towels, which is something I never did before. Uh,
And they will put that they have the basic, whatever it is.
right.
But then oh, script said they would say that they don't.
Yeah, and some of them don't even have a lot of details. Where like this last one said didn't really have details. I don't think they actually provided towels and all till we asked about it before we came here.
Yeah. Because they went to buy.
Right. So I think some of them just really don't detail that. Like even if they don't have it, it's fine if you don't have it. But I think that's something that they need to put in there so people are ready for it when they come. Like bring your own towels. You know. Uh, so yeah, I mean, like looking for that stuff. Usually I'll try to see and make sure there's a picture of a washing machine because that's been one of our criteria. And as you said, there are times they've listed it and it's not been there. So that's one thing I'll look for. I try to make sure there's parking on premises and Wi-Fi because those are the things we usually need.
And then there are multiple places we go for the ones that have an outdoor space for the dogs.
And also kind of also try to take a good look at the pictures they've got of the kitchen to see what they have in the kitchen, so it gives you an idea.
Mm.
On another thing is counter space in the kitchen. 'Cause I think a lot of places it's very common not to have a lot of counter space. And when you're traveling a lot or you're staying for longer periods and you only cook quite a bit, it gets a little frustrating not having counter space.
I think everyone knows you're obsessive. Pictures now. So our next house is gonna have a nice kitchen. One thing we forgot to talk: cleaning supplies.
Right. A lot of places don't have basic cleaning supplies, which makes it challenging because I think people spill or just want to clean and you don't have anything to even like the basic stuff to do. And I think that's been a common thing. Most places lack basic cleaning supplies,
Yeah.
even brooms and mops.
It's funny because I think they expect people to just go in and spend like a weekend or something.
Yeah.
But even then, you should have it because accidents
Right.
happen, right? And then you don't know what to do.
And I think you and I both kind of like to leave a place the way we found it when we got there. So just having those things is it's definitely helpful.
Well, the other thing, some of the places we've been, they offer additional stuff. So the one in, forgot the name of the place.
Santa Cruz. Oh yeah.
São João something.
São João del Rei.
São João Batista da Glória.
Batista da Glória.
That city was weird, but the Airbnb, she had a bunch of stuff both in the bathroom and the kitchen that we barely had any space to put our things because she had stuff to sell.
Right.
And then the other one is Joanópolis, which we also loved it. That's another one that we didn't talk about. We loved it.
Yeah, that was that was like in the top few, I would say. That was one of the nicest ones.
That was a really cool house. And she made the best carrot cake. But she offered a bunch of stuff, but she was offering by message, right? It's like a huge list.
Yeah, she offered horse rides and
Yeah. I feel like I want to help people organize. Make a list. Just send a list. Don't go one by one. It takes too much to read all the messages.
I forgot about that one. That one was a nice house, like well organized, had a lot of stuff in it, had a good yard.
And Pipoca got to make friends with the horse.
That's right. But even the one in Santa Cruz, the one in Chile, where she offered bikes to rent.
Oh, yeah.
That was good. Which is nice, so we could bike around town, especially with the wineries around. That was a nice thing to be able to do.
That's a good thing to offer, right? Bike ride. Just rent the bike for the day or something.
Right. But yeah, the carrot cake was a nice feature in Joanópolis.
It was.
Probably one of the best carrot cakes I've had.
And it's the Brazilian carrot cake. So listeners who have not had Brazilian carrot cake don't know what we mean. It's very different. It has chocolate on top. So good.
Right.
Anything else to say about Airbnbs?
No, I think that's all I have to say.
Okay.
Okay.
Bingo, Pipoca, have anything to add other than you're going to miss the running space? No? Okay. So we're heading to Belo Horizonte again. We're going to see how the Airbnb goes. And then next is Uruguay.
All right.
All right.
Thank you for listening.
Follow, subscribe, share. See you next time.